Hello, everybody, and welcome to UNM Esports, a Q&A night here with the School of Engineering. I'm Dieter Elegant Cabbage Hambicki.
And I am the wonderfully underdressed Toby DeFoya.
And
I'm Ford. I usually run the streams, but today I'm going to be playing Rocket League for y'all.
yeah, Ford will be playing Rocket League for us while we try and answer some questions for all of you in the chat about joining the School of Engineering. If you have any questions for us, just drop them into the chat and we will answer them as they come. Otherwise, we're pretty much just going to be watching Ford here play Rocket League, maybe
I'm washed.
critiquing his skill.
From those 3 seconds of driving we saw, I can already tell you're extremely talented. So
I don't know what the button boost is.
There's not. I guess there actually are quite a few buttons on an Xbox controller. But yeah, so here we're just basically going to be watching some Solar Q, and you can all see it here. Yeah, right there. Oh, good demo there. Oh, get some aerials. Shot on target. Keychain, actually. Good defense. Just a little tap. I guess, what's the first thing any prospective student should know about the School of Engineering, Toby?
So, the 3 things that we really want students to know about engineering here at UNM is, 1, how hands-on it's all going to be. The School of Engineering, as we like to say, is all about playing with Legos, right? Nobody likes to read about Legos. You like to play with Legos. And so we can talk a little bit more about that later on tonight, about how hands-on it really is. We got his goal scored there. I don't know, is he blue or orange?
I'm blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
They literally all just that was an own goal. What even?
Right?
That was so. That was not good there.
That
from
reminds
that
me,
orange team.
did you ever play the old game Age of Empires?
Yes.
And when, like, you'd have a defensive formation set up, and the enemy army would walk in and just literally destroy your town, and all you guys would just watch them.
Walk right past the walls because they didn't exactly meet up right in the middle.
Feels like they were just, like, giving them directions. No, town center's that way, guys. Go ahead, a few steps further.
Good shot on the goal.
Second thing, though, that we want engineering students to know, or if you're interested in engineering, is really that there's a lot of opportunities here at UNM and in Albuquerque. I would venture to say there's probably more here in Albuquerque than there is just about anywhere else. That's what happens when you have 2 national labs and an Air Force Research Lab and a Space Force Research Lab and Netflix
and Intel
and Facebook and major space companies here.
And now Amazon is moving into the state. I don't think with any of their data centers.
Not with any of their data centers, but they do have their packaging center. And there's a lot of creative engineering that Amazon is doing in... Oh, just missed that one.
That was very close shot on goal.
But so, yeah, they do a lot of... because even though Amazon has their data centers, their packaging centers function pretty much as mini data centers, right? And so, yeah, they just moved in and opened up their Rio Rancho warehouse over there. And then the third thing is, we know you're going to struggle in college. We know it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the fact that college is kind of hard, right?
It definitely was. I guess some more background on me. I have my bachelor's in nuclear engineering here from the University of New Mexico. Graduated in 19, and now I'm back for my graduate degree, a master's in nuclear engineering. Oh. Hold that thought. No, I think it'll be a good clear. That's not going to go in, though. I think that'll be a... Oh, Ford going for it.
There we are.
There we go. Nice. First timer. You really don't play this game much, do you?
Last time I played, I was on my Switch.
Okay.
about 3 years ago, before I came to UNM.
All right. But yeah, I know a thing or two about the School of Engineering here at this school. And yeah, it is, college degrees are hard.
Yeah. And even though we were making light of one of our friends here who's getting a liberal arts degree, even something like that can be really difficult, right? Whether it's just a lot of the course load, a lot of classes, maybe the degrees and having a second job, or if you have family obligations, or trying to keep a social circle while doing all of this. Or I know when I was getting my degree, and I was still only dating my wife at the time, it was a tricky balance on all of that all at once.
Is that going to go in?
Uh-oh. Oh, nice defense.
Yeah, good clear there. Oh, another shot. Oh, that one's going to go in.
And that boost.
And we just complimented you and everything.
Oh, that was such a good defense there.
Yeah.
But there was only one defender there, so that was unfortunate there. But up 2-1, a minute 40, that's still pretty good.
Yeah. But so we know it's difficult, and so if we know you're going to struggle, we should plan on helping you in some important ways, right? And so if it's, struggling to kind of find an in-group, a great place, obviously is you guys, actually.
Yeah.
Or if it's tutoring, why make getting tutoring hard? We have apps that'll actually help you just either tutor in person or over the app, whatever, works best for you, because we know a lot of you guys are commuting in. And so, if you need tutoring at 7:45 and tutoring ends at 8, by the time you even get over here, it's going to be 8:15. Right? And there goes your math homework for the night, right? Then you're stuck on Khan Academy, and don't get me wrong, Khan Academy is great, but if you're looking for a specific question, you might not be able to find it. And so, why make all of this stuff difficult? And so that's exactly what we're trying to do, is just make it easier for everybody involved. Uh-oh, we got a tied game here.
Tied game here with less than a minute. This
We'll see
one
how this
might go
goes.
to overtime. So just see a good replay. Not quite good enough on the defense there. Just a little tip to get in. Not even going for just the aggressive push here. Is that just going to go in?
No.
Okay.
They're not that bad.
All right. There's 4 people. No, I think all 6 people are here. Yeah, this is Orange wants to clear this ball. Yeah, and that being said, for all of you in chat, I don't actually know how many of you are watching. However many of you are watching, be sure to, if you have any questions about chat or about the school, or not about chat, any questions about the School of Engineering or about Rocket League, we're probably not the people to ask about Rocket League. But School of Engineering, anything coming to UNM related for prospective students or even students who have been here for a while, maybe want to transfer in.
So let me ask you real quick. What are the overtime rules here? Is it sudden death?
I believe it is sudden death. Yeah, first to just point.
Okay. So golden goal wins here.
Yes.
So actually, for the chat here, once we get done with overtime here, drop in your intended major. I want to see what you guys are interested in. Oh, that
was so close. Oh, but now it's cleared to the wrong side. Van Aftershock might be with the good one. Deep fried bed.
Uh-oh.
Needs to get a flick. Let's see. Oh, good clear. Needs just a little tap for direction.
There it is. You might have it.
There are ostensibly.
Oh, here we go. Oh.
It was a good defense there by Van Aftershock.
Yep. Came in with the follow-up, but couldn't quite bring it home.
Oh. Is that going to be enough?
Oh, yep.
And
there it is.
Yeah. Deep fried bed.
Anyways, School of Engineering.
Yeah.
As much as I love us casting this.
Hey, we're here to have a little bit of fun too, right? Hang out with some of the interested students.
School of Engineering is fun, though.
Yes.
As another engineer.
Now that you have a quick moment between games, actually, share your major with us.
So I'm a computer engineering major. I just recently graduated last semester, and I'm come back to do my master's here at the university.
And what do you want to do? What are you hoping to do professionally?
So currently I work for the labs, Sendia, National Labs, as an intern over there. And I'm hoping to do hardware security with my degree. I'm currently working on my going to be doing my thesis here.
Okay.
And slowly being talked into my PhD.
Slowly being talked into it. So, what is the difference between a master's of coursework and a master's with a thesis attached to it?
So the thesis, you end up. So the thesis is more of what you're looking for words. So a thesis, you'll end up with a published paper by the end of your degree. And if you're looking to do any R&D or
good shot.
work as an engineer, usually having a published paper ends up helping you get more jobs lined up
Mm-hmm.
than not having anything published, because it shows that you understand the field that you're going into quite a lot.
Yeah, sorry, we're
it's
asking
okay.
you to play and chat.
We did say we wouldn't do that. But,
I felt like I did a decent job there.
Yeah,
Good.
no, you were doing great.
a good demo there, actually. See if you guys are able to do anything. The 2v3.
Yeah, and so for any of you guys who are interested in coming to UNM, you guys are high schoolers looking at UNM, really I would encourage you guys, regardless of what school you decide to end up going to and really what field you decide to go into, I'd really recommend, planning on graduate school instead of just an undergraduate. Because, one, more money, right? Down
Just
1-0.
missed it.
Not good enough there on the defense. Could you have even...
Yeah. You see that I
Oh,
barely
yeah,
Just
that's...
missed it.
It's a
Just
bit, a
missed.
little embarrassing of a play of the game.
It's been years. I'm brushing it off.
But the other reason why you really want to get a master's degree, or at least a master's degree, is
The
more
pay
power
difference.
over your career, right?
Absolutely.
If you guys are wanting to do the cool stuff, and I've yet to meet an engineering major who got into engineering because they want to be bored, then you get a master's degree or a PhD, right? It changes the conversation from here's what you're going to do to no, here's what I'm going to do, and here's the pile of money you're going to give me to do it, right? So that's why I really recommend at least a master's degree if you're looking at really any field, but definitely engineering as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the masters, the pay difference
Yes.
is huge. Usually on average, I think it's 30K more you make
Yep.
a year.
So I don't know the exact nuclear numbers, but the engineering numbers are about 65,000 with a bachelor's starting salary, and about 95,000 with a master's degree. And of course, with a PhD, it goes up to somewhere about 200,000, depending on the exact role you're looking at. And so, with a master's degree, here at UNM, we actually have what's called a 3+2 program. Although if you're looking at some of our other material, it might say 4+1. The same program. And really what it allows you to do is go to school for 1 extra year, and you get a master's degree on top of your program. And so if you kind of extrapolate that, you go to school for 1 extra year, so that's one, and then you make $30,000 more a year. So let's just say for another 10 years of work after that 1 year of master's, that's 11 years total. In that 11 years, you've made yourself an extra $300,000.
And as someone who didn't do that program, I will say that I wish I did the 4+1. It was having to... Oh, good shot.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
Tying it up with a 2:09 still to go. As someone who didn't do the 4+1 program, when it was offered, I highly recommend anyone to do it, because now in my master's program, taking the full 2 years, I have to go back and redo classes that I've already taken, simply because I didn't do paperwork the first time, basically.
And that's really it, because how much different are those courses at the master's level versus the undergraduate level?
I have a couple more homework assignments, and I think depending on the class, maybe a slightly different test, but for the most part, it's the same lectures, it's the same labs. I think I had one extra lab in the last class that I took, but for the most part, nothing unmanageably different.
Yes, everything is substantially and materially the same.
Yes. Just maybe going a little bit deeper into, a couple of things you're expected to go a little bit, more extreme on the homeworks, but nothing that I would say a senior or a junior at that point couldn't have done anyways.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say that's similar. So UNM, if you guys want to go a little bit more on the managerial side, UNM has that same program, that same 3+2 with our MBA, which is a Master's of Business Administration, or an MFA if you guys want to, which is a Master's of Financial Administration.
Oh,
which
is
is
that going to be an
That
own
was an own
goal?
goal. That looked like an own goal.
Yeah, I think that was an own
Yep.
goal.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think I didn't touch
nope.
it, but
He.
yes.
Yeah.
I think that was just a good tip to get around that defender.
No,
right
that was
there.
that was my guy that tipped it.
Yeah.
Well, it was still a good tip to get around the defender. Is that just going to go in?
Oh, well, there you go.
What a
He
good
brought it back.
A good tee off there.
Yeah.
Just getting the boost, and no one else contested it,
There you go.
and that's why you always contest.
Yep.
I usually play back.
And that's why you don't. Got to get really got to get in there. Is he just going to do it again?
He tried to.
Now let's see your aerials. Okay. Pretty good. That one. And
I
was hoping my team was going to be able to do something there.
A 3-2 here.
We've had
Got a
3
minute
goals in the last about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
This has turned into a shootout.
That was not great. Svigi? I don't even know how you would pronounce that name. Sequel hitting you, giving you a little boost.
Let's see. You guys have a chance here. Oh.
Not quite. 30 seconds. No pressure.
Thanks.
Oh. I believe. Can Sved do it? No.
Oh.
You should have a good angle here.
All right.
Right bed.
Oh.
Is it just going to go in?
Oh.
All right, let's see.
Let's see if we can just keep it in the air. Nope.
No, my
nope.
team just hit me.
Unfortunate. But
Oh, well.
we're 1-1, I think, in games from what we've seen so far. Not that anyone's counting.
But so, what brought you back to UNM to finish your masters?
It was less about the money, and it was more that you have a lot more opportunities with the masters. More, especially in my particular field in nuclear engineering, in my experience, no idea if this is true or not. You seem to get more people interested in hiring someone with a master's degree compared with someone who has only a bachelor's degree. So I wanted to be hired by more people or be able to expand, what I wanted to do. The money aspect also definitely is part of it. But for the most part, I found that having a master's just kind of increases the amount of opportunities that you have in general.
Yeah.
And I feel like that holds for pretty much every master's, just in general. Oh, that was a good shot. A little to the right.
Yeah, absolutely. And
we do have a Rocket League team. To boy Staryu. We do have a Rocket League team. You can reach out to, I think his name is Fossil, on our Discord.
Yes,
Discord.
I believe it is.
.gg/UNM Esports. I think we got our.
Yes, I think we kept the Nitro
I
stuff.
think we kept our name changed.
Ooh,
good defense.
Yeah.
But I'm unranked.
Yeah, we're watching an unranked person play. Our Rocket League team, I don't believe is going. There's an NMSU Invitational, not next weekend, but the weekend after, the 5th and the 6th, where a whole bunch of teams from across the state are going to be going down there to compete for a statewide championship sort of thing, including a couple of high schools, actually.
Oh, really?
I think La Cueva will be there.
Yeah, La Cueva, I think.
Los Alamos?
Los Alamos. There's one other, whatever secret city.
That's Los Alamos.
That's Los Alamos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that
Secret
makes
city.
sense.
Aren't you a nuclear engineer?
Yeah, I guess that yeah, I never really thought about it before. Oh,
there we go.
nice. I never really thought about that before, literally right now. Yeah, it does make sense if you're calling yourself Secret City that you are in Los Alamos. That was a good assist there by you.
I basically dribbled it all the way in.
Yeah, it's an assist. Not getting rid off the tee. 3 minutes, though. And you're already up 1-0. That's always good. So, yes, if you come to UNM, you can join our Rocket League team.
Oh, there you go.
Stuffed. Yes, if you reach out to Tyler or Fossil on our Discord, he's our Rocket League coordinator. I believe tryouts already have happened for this semester, but you're always there's always people in our Discord looking to play.
So, how do tryouts and how if somebody
was
was
going to go in?
Oh,
That was so close.
yes, it was. So, let's just say a freshman coming next year, and they come up to you guys and say, hey, I'm really interested in esports. What teams do you guys have, and how does one try out for it?
We have, let's see if I can get all of them. Halo is new, so we just got a Halo. We have Halo, Rocket League, Call of Duty, TF2.
There you go, up 3-0. What is TF2?
Team Fortress 2.
Okay.
We have a Valorant team, League of Legends, Overwatch, Rocket League. We have a R6 team, Rainbow Six Siege, and I think we have a CS:GO team maybe in the works.
Yeah, I don't believe we have an official team for them yet.
But we are trying to work on that. So I think that was 9-10 teams that I just listed off. So pretty much our motto is if you can get enough support, and if there are tournaments, we'll support you. We'll stream you. We'll do cast, do whatever. But tryouts are generally at the beginning of each semester.
Okay.
We generally the fall semester. If you're on it in the fall, you
there
get in on the spring. That's going to be quite difficult for them to come back.
Especially with only a minute 50.
Yeah. And we'll see that.
That's what we call
that's
bar down.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
In hockey. Going bar down.
But pretty much our tryouts are usually at the beginning of semesters. Is that just...
That's an off the rip. I think they gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. They didn't even try to contest that. They even missed the first 2 boosts. I think that is suboptimal.
This is low ranked Rocket League.
And so, what happens if a person is really interested in a game, but they're not quite able to make the team?
So that's actually pretty much the entire production team. If you'll see. I more or less started the production team because I wanted to play League of Legends, but I'm bad at it. So I just transitioned into the casting roles. And that's pretty much where we get all of our casters from, is you still want to be involved, and we're always happy to have you involved. No matter what you want to play, if you want to cast, we're always happy to have you. And even if you're not great, that's still just someone to just kind of come on and talk about a game.
Oh, no.
Usually with me. I think 5-1 it'll be. I think it'll be fine.
I don't like it. I wanted to win. But yeah, it's the same story with myself. I tried out for the Overwatch team and then was told that I didn't make it. Well, I made the JV team, but we don't have enough players to field the JV team. So basically, it was you didn't make it in a nutshell. And
okay, they're not coming back. I thought 2 quick ones in a row maybe, but at this point it's going to be quite difficult to get 4.
But then I ended up on production, and now everything you see on stream is what I made, like everything.
Except for this, the background. That was a group effort.
Yes.
Spearheaded by me. And
every overlay you see on our streams currently has been made by me, and I'm an engineering student. Never had an art.
Most of our production team is actually engineering students.
We have 1 film student.
Yeah, not entirely certain why, but that is how it is.
I think our biggest demographic is engineering.
Yeah, probably. That's most esports departments or esports clubs. It's mostly engineers. But we also have some coordinator positions, so that's basically coaching. If you don't make it on the team, you can still basically manage a team, which is. It doesn't sound like much when you're saying you're managing a club sport, but it's a lot. It is. You need to get everyone's practice schedules. You need to, when they have class, when they have work, when they just need to do homework.
Yeah.
And getting all of them to be able to practice at a certain time, and especially for tournaments, and then sometimes the opposing team wants to reschedule. And then we have to figure that out.
Yeah.
And, coordinating with the production team, if there is a tournament, to do broadcasts and all that. So it's quite the ordeal just for being a coordinator.
Yeah. So what level of time commitments could students expect from from being on an esports team like UNM?
That entirely depends on the team.
So usually, based on the schedules we've seen from most of our teams, about an hour to 2 hours of scrim practice per week. Your grades always matter. If you don't make, if you're failing out of a class, you're not going to be playing on the team. That's one of the things we pride ourselves in is academic, making sure you're academically available. Same thing as we try to treat this whole thing as like we were a varsity sport. But it's usually an hour to 2.
Yeah, it's usually a couple of scrims a week. Usually those are an hour, maybe 2 hours. And then usually there's 1 or 2 tournament games a week. In the fall, there's usually not that many tournaments. So fall is kind of our down season. It's our spring training, really.
Yeah.
And then spring, paradoxically, is when all of the tournaments happen. So in the spring, we have more tournaments going on, so it'll probably be a little bit more of your time. But I guess overall 6 hours a week, probably on average. On the higher end, I know our Call of Duty team was ranked top 25 in the nation.
Wow.
Out of 300 teams.
Out of 300. And then this past week, we then lost to a lower than us team and a higher than us team. So who knows?
Yeah.
Number 5 in the
GCU, Grand Canyon University, ranked 5.
Wow.
And we got smacked. There is quite the canyon between 5 and 25. We learned.
Yes.
It was actually relatively close, but it was still 3-0. But our COD team practices more than just those 2 hours a week, I think. But they've also been together. Like those guys have been playing for a couple of years. Just because they keep making the same team, basically.
Yeah.
Because it turns out when you're top 25, it's kind of the same players each year.
Just missed that one.
Who haven't graduated yet, or are coming back for grad schools or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think our league team maybe does 1 scrim a week, 2 scrims a week, plus their match games. So that's 4, 5, 6 hours, somewhere around there. So it really just kind of depends on, that was so close. It really depends on your team, what your expectations for the season are. Our COD team definitely knows they're good and wants to practice more to make sure that they keep up with that expectation. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of that. So it's a decent amount of time commitment, but nothing unreasonable.
I was gonna say that's a lot less than would be with
any sport.
Yeah, with the typical
any other sport. I even tried out or did a couple of times with the Ultimate Frisbee club that we have here, and they're intense. It's like 3 hour twice a week. You're on Johnson Field just running the entire time. I couldn't do it.
I was going to say, that's even more than I did a, don't make fun of me too much, but I did an adult kickball league a couple of years ago before the pandemic.
So much fun.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. And even this is even less of a time commitment than that, to be honest. But in fairness, half of the time commitment on that was hanging out, getting nachos after the game and whatnot. But still.
Someone just won some game here in the...
I think they were playing Madden.
Madden? Oh, I saw they were playing like...
2K, it looked like.
Yeah, 2K, and then I saw like a WWE or something. I don't know what that was.
But somebody just won in dramatic fashion.
Someone just won something, yes.
They might be playing Brawlhalla too. But yes, we have an event going on right now outside of this one.
Yep. We have events all the time. Usually I'm going to say we do 1 to 2 a week. Just hop in our Discord. They're always in the events tab on our Discord. And come and hang out. It's always a good time. Always. Mandatory fun. Almost. That was almost a really good aerial. But this is actually a low-scoring Rocket League game. Only 1-0 with 90 seconds left.
It's also a 4v4.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah, we only play the collegiate is 3v3.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Just
there you
as I
go.
said that. See? Jester. Oh, I guess we won't see it. Okay. So what else about UNM Engineering?
So the other thing I had kind of mentioned, and I haven't really dug into yet, but here in New Mexico, we kind of take for granted how much engineering is around us, and we forget how many opportunities that results in for our engineering students, right? There's only 8 national labs in the country, and we have 2 of them right in our backyard. We have, of course, the home of nuclear engineering, and of course we have Sandia, the home of, well, a whole bunch of engineering, quite frankly. They've done everything from a ton of medical research to they're working on quantum computing these days.
They're doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 80s, they had a big hand in the Military Integrated Communications Network, which a few of you guys might recognize as the Internet. It's a 1 gate. So yeah, to my knowledge, the last I saw about a year and a half ago, there's 2 of those currently. The headquarters for the Space Force is out in either Alabama or Arkansas. Straight off the bat.
I think it's Alabama. I think they put it in Huntsville.
Yes, that sounds right. But so we have one that's associated with our Air Force Research Lab. There's 2 in the country. Like I said, one is here, one is in Alabama, and they're doing a ton of the Space Force research, right? So we do have centers like Cosmiac here, and what Cosmiac does is they do a lot of studies on technology in space, right? Particularly with how it degrades due to solar radiation, right? Here on Earth, your phone, it's going to last pretty well because it has an entire atmosphere of protection, right? Whereas in space, it doesn't have any of that protection. So that's one of the big things we study is how does technology last in space. They also do a lot of space propulsion studies. So if you guys have heard of Project Artemis, a lot of that is going to be nuclear propelled and nuclear energized, if you will. And so, it's ISNIPS, the Institute for Space and Nuclear Power Systems, just received a $650,000 grant from NASA to solve a lot of those problems. And on top of that, in the civil engineering department, we have one of the country's only 3D concrete printers. Now, the benefit of that, aside from just, 3D printing some really cool concrete stuff, is that they're actually working on creating lunar dust. So that way they can use that to try to recreate 3D printing on the moon. So that way when we do establish a lunar base, instead of hauling all of this stuff up from Earth up to the moon, we could just haul up a 3D printer, right? Because every pound you add, NASA likes to say every pound is a ton of danger, right? And so the less they can take up and the more they can just do when they are there, the safer it is for everybody involved, right? Plus, if they could send 3D printers and then send up some rovers type things, they can have all of the lunar base established before we even send our astronauts up, right? And so it makes it just safer, more cost-efficient programs in the long run. And it establishes the U.S. a base to eventually go off to the real prize, which is, of course, Mars, right? And so then we would do pretty much the exact same thing, right? So the moon is sort of a template run for how we would do Mars. But bringing that all back to UNM, a lot of that technology is happening right here. A lot of that Space Force technology is happening right here. Even a cool one that I didn't even mention, we're doing so much stuff that I'm just not mentioning stuff, is a lot of these self-flying drone components of the most recent Mars rover was technology developed here at UNM. Because Mars, at its closest, is an 8.5-minute message away. At its closest. You can't tell a rover, or it can't tell a self-flying helicopter to dodge a rock in 8.5 minutes, right? Because it's going to crash into the rock, but ooh, there we go.
But we're now in 3v3s?
Yes, I went back to 3v3.
Okay. Also, just to add on to that, we also have Spaceport America here in New Mexico, over in kind of the middle of nowhere. But
yeah,
pretty much on purpose. But even that is, we're one of, depending on where you define space, we're one of 3 states or 4 states that have made it into space. I think it's us, Texas, and Florida.
I believe that to be true, yes.
I know Florida.
Yeah, Florida and Texas for sure.
Florida and Texas. But we're I mean, it's a big industry here.
Yeah, it's a huge industry, and for those of you guys who are interested in mechanical engineering teams, we do have a Lobo launch team. They just recently competed at the Spaceport America in an international competition, and they actually took, I believe it was number 3.
Nice.
So yeah, so they're a very high quality team. We also have a solar canoe. Solar Splash is the team.
Yeah, Solar Splash.
They are a concrete canoe that has to do a few things. And although I'll say, as a psychology major, the concept of a concrete canoe just confuses me.
I vaguely remember that, back in the 70s or 80s, some professor at MIT was bored because he goes to MIT and in his free time designed a concrete canoe, and that just turned into an engineering. This might be something completely different, but it just turned into every year all of these colleges now just design concrete canoes because
why not?
Why not?
And that's what a lot of engineering is, right? The why not of it all. Just off the bar. But yeah, and so our our Solar Splash team is actually also very good. Confusing concrete boats aside. But 3 is kind of our magic number because they also took 3rd at their most recent national competition. So very good team. And so we have a whole lot of these projects that are available for you guys to do because, again, this is all very hands-on stuff. The end goal is not to create somebody who knows a lot about engineering. It's to create an actual engineer, right? Oh, tied at 1 now.
Tied 1-1. Unfortunate.
Yeah, there's another one of my favorite engineering programs that we have here, mostly for the mechanical engineers.
Mm-hmm.
But lately, the ECE department is becoming involved. That's the FSAE program.
Yes. So the Formula 1 team is actually now dedicated to only doing electrical vehicles.
Yes.
They might do combustion engines in the future, but only in addition to. So what that means, though, is you can't build an electric car without having electrical engineers involved in the process, right?
Turns out.
Yeah.
Very
Fun
hard.
fact. And so what that means is they have an entire electric engineering department within the Formula 1 team.
Nice.
There we go. Getting a little bit of distance.
3-1.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just to butt in there.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I mean, you're more know more about this than I do.
Yes. So I've actually been a part of that for 2 years. I first came on when they initially started doing actual work with the prototype for the electrical vehicle, the EV car, as we called it. And sorry, focus. But we had done that, and then we got the prototype up and working, and then unfortunately, while doing some testing, the car caught fire.
Oh, I haven't heard that story yet.
So something shorted, and we ended up having an accident. No one was hurt, luckily, but it was a pretty kind of cool incident.
Is that just gonna be
There you
nice?
go.
Good tip.
But after that, we moved on to working on the actual competition car, and of which I helped design 2 boards that went on the car itself. One being the TSAL, which is the tractor system active light, and the other one being our BTMS, which monitors the battery's temperatures. So there's a lot that you can do with that program. There's a lot you learn from that too. It's a giant team of both mechanicals and electricals, mostly mechanicals,
Yes.
because the program was built originally for the combustion car, but they moved towards the EV because a lot of schools are doing that now. Some of the top schools like Michigan and other top engineering schools do that, so of course we follow suit. And what the talks is,
Clear it.
from what the talks I've at least heard of is that we would like to do a hybrid at some point. So EV and
Combustion.
yeah. But yeah, the FSAE is a great program to get involved in. Dr. Russell is a great professor.
Yeah, Dr. John Russell, the gentleman who runs the program.
Yep, great guy. I learned a lot about cars coming in, barely knew anything. All around a great program to be involved in. And a lot of students that I know that went on with their mechanical engineering degrees are doing electrical stuff now too, alongside their mechanical work. So it's a great way to get cross-training in both electrical and mechanical, and applying skills, what you learn from both. But yeah, sorry to ramble on that.
No, you're doing great.
20 seconds left. I don't think they're gonna get four here. Yeah, this is just playing for time, basically. You're 10 seconds remaining in this match. Oh, very close for a 6-1, but unfortunately not going to be that.
And so one thing I'd encourage you guys as engineering students to remember is, well, choosing your major is important. The good thing is there's so many, or most projects are cross-discipline in some kind of significant way, that if you're interested in both nuclear and mechanical, we'll say, it's very easy to find a program in which you're going to be doing nuclear and mechanical. Or, if you're any combination that you could imagine, it's very easy to find a program or a project or a job or a career that's going to combine multiple disciplines. And so, while you don't want to choose the wrong major, it's very easy to choose the right major as long as it's something you're interested in, because you will do a lot of cross work, right? Even as a nuclear engineering, if we take the stereotype of nuclear, which is to create electricity and whatnot, that's electrical engineering right there, right? Generation of nuclear, or of generation of electrical power via nuclear processes, right? And so right there, it's the classic idea of nuclear is also a classic idea of electricity.
It falls right into the smart grid technologies.
Yeah, exactly. And smart grid is all about computer science and computer engineering, right?
Yep.
And of course, electrical engineering and and then how do you build all of that out to benefit a society? That sounds a lot like civil engineering to me, right?
Yes.
So, all of these are so cross-connected, and we just took one classic point of one classic idea of engineering, and it just quickly spread and consumed all of it. So, while it is important, like, again, I don't want to make picking a major sound unimportant, it's also hard to choose the wrong one.
Yep. Although I'm not the person to ask about that. I came in knowing that I wanted to be a nuclear engineer, and 4 years later got my degree.
There you go.
It's going to be not quite enough boost there.
I should have gone a little wide and gone for the dot, big dot for all the boost. We're too far pushed up, but
team fault, not yours. Yeah, the other two people.
I can do no wrong.
That all looked great to me. If they had just gotten the ball to you, then it would all been fine.
Yes, they're matchmaking. Otherwise, you'd be platinum already.
Yeah.
Ooh. Is it gonna go in?
Oh,
nice.
There you go.
Not sure if that was an
own goal.
Yeah,
okay.
It looked like it.
I don't know if you heard the tap or not.
Well, I don't know if it was necessary. Let's see it.
I think he was trying to clear it and didn't realize it.
Ooh,
yeah, that tap just definitely confirmed it. So.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna go in otherwise.
No. Yeah, and that's great. Some people have that major right away, and then some people are like me, where I choose 4 majors, bounce around a little bit, and then end up in my original major anyway. So, everybody takes their own kind of
this one's going to be a high scoring if we've already seen 3 in 54 seconds.
Yep.
How does UNM Engineering compare to NM Tech? I don't know.
So I will absolutely take that question. So, I'll tell you this. If you choose either school, if you choose to go to UNM or you choose to go to New Mexico Tech, you're going to be making a good choice. Both schools have great education programs. Both schools do some really cool stuff. But I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about New Mexico Tech for a couple reasons. One, I'm paid not to know about a lot about tech, right? I'm paid to know about UNM. And 2 is because that way I can't say anything about them, anything good or bad, right? I could sit here and talk all kinds of horrible stuff about New Mexico Tech. Well, what do I know about New Mexico Tech? I I will say, if you're really interested in military engineering, they would be the place to go. If you're really interested in agricultural engineering, New Mexico State is the place to go. But otherwise, I tell you not to choose one school over another. I tell you to choose the right school for you, right? You shouldn't be choosing UNM because it's better than New Mexico Tech. There we go,
Nice.
tied it up. You shouldn't be choosing UNM because it's better than New Mexico Tech. You should be choosing UNM because it's the right school for you. And conversely, if New Mexico Tech is the right school for you, then choose New Mexico Tech. Honestly, I don't want you to be at UNM if New Mexico Tech's a better fit for you. I want you to go to the school that's a better fit for you.
I will say, NM Tech, last I heard, their esports program, I think it's the largest club on campus.
Yes.
But because they have a small student body, none of their teams are particularly high level. Just because there's just not enough students to get the sample size that you basically need.
Yeah.
And NMSU esports, we do a lot of friendlies with them and a lot of like battles of I-95, and I think we
I-25.
I-25, yeah, 90. I don't know why I always say 95, and that's nowhere near here.
I was gonna say, where is 95?
I think it's DC area,
Yeah,
which
I
I
think
didn't
it's-
even grow up around, so it doesn't make sense. Battle of I-25, and I think we've won every single one of them.
There you go.
There might have been a couple that they took, but for the most part, we're the better esports team. Not to brag or anything. We
I'll
also
brag every day of the
we
week.
also have a better production than them. That one I will just say flat out. But part of that is because I think they only very, very recently started putting their production together, like this past week recently. Oh, come on.
There it is. Nice.
Gotta restuff it.
But I will say, in terms of, again, kind of going back to reasons why you should pick UNM, is just give you an example of how many opportunities there are. Here's a couple of them. Is one, I've known students who have literally gotten internships at the labs just by going and asking their teachers for homework help, which seems completely unrelated, and that's because it's completely unrelated. But the teacher will have, or like we have so many opportunities here at UNM that teachers will be like, oh, I have a friend. Oh, there you go.
Well, half the time, it's not even, oh, I have a friend. Some of the times it's, oh, I work at Sandia and I need an intern.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're here.
And you seem smart enough because, let's put it this way, guys. Everybody thinks like you go to the teacher for help when you don't, or when you're the dumb kid or whatever.
No.
That is completely false.
It is surprising how you only need to go to like 2 office hours. Really, you only need to go to like 1 office hour to already be on the teacher's good side, basically. Nice.
This was the close one, and you guys tore it apart.
All right,
off the wall.
I boosted into him.
Yeah, he pushed him from the back and drove him in. Yep. Technically, that's an own goal, but you definitely deserved it.
That's why I got the achievement.
It's a really own goal if you're pushing someone into the goal.
Right.
So.
But yeah, so guys, teachers love it when you go to their office hours, because otherwise they just sit there bored for an hour. So they just love when you go to their office hours.
I remember I had a teacher that said, please come to office hours. I'm buying things on Amazon if you're not.
Yeah. And it'll get you the benefit of the doubt, too. So, like, one time, my first time in college, before I dropped out and I came back, I was sitting right on the verge of a passing grade. But because I had gone to office hours once, the teacher rounded up more than a few points, to be honest, to help me pass the class. Like, it buys you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Just not to get too far off topic and just talk about going to office hours, but you will always, if you talk with the teachers more and at least show that you're putting in that the effort to pass the class, you will be rewarded.
Yes. Be a good student. Being a good student doesn't mean getting a good grade. Being a good student means being a good student, right? Showing up on time, paying attention in class. Like, your teachers will absolutely take care of you.
Oh, yeah. I've had so many times where a teacher remembers me just because I ask questions in class.
Yeah.
I don't really go to office hours much, but I stay after class and ask. And I can't tell you how many undergrads I've told when they're struggling for help, and I just tell them, go talk to the
Literally
professor.
just talk to your teacher.
Yeah.
Talk to your TA, talk to your professor.
Yeah.
Best
And
way of getting anything.
that question that you think is really, really dumb and you shouldn't ask, I have learned the second time I've come to college is to just ask that question, because every time I find a new question that I think is dumber than before, I'll ask it, and I'll see at least 5 other students in the class go, "Oh, Dan, good question. I wish I had thought of that one." Like, and your teacher will love it. As somebody who does presentations professionally for a living, I love it when you guys ask questions. Doesn't matter how dumb you think the question is. I love a question. So always ask your questions. But so actually kind of going back a little bit to another point of why UNM, we kind of got off topic here with all that.
I can if you don't mind if I interject there as well. I have a more personal thing. My cousin went to tech for electrical engineering, so the same department as myself. He always complained, nothing to do there. It's out in Socorro, and it's a small town like we had mentioned earlier, not a whole lot. Not much of a nightlife. Here in at UNM, we've got Central.
Yeah,
we have
Knob Hill,
all of
Knob Hill.
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, you if you want to
shout out Empire Boarding Games.
Yeah.
If you wanna do anything in Socorro, there's like
It's an hour and a half to Albuquerque.
Yeah, it's an hour and a half to Albuquerque. By then you're getting tired. It's got to be a day plan.
Yeah,
Whereas you're a lot more spontaneous.
I have a friend who went to Texas Tech for a little bit and was like, there's nothing in Lubbock.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You go to-
not to.
You go to tech to study. Is really
Yeah.
what it ends up.
Oh, that's probably why their esports team is so massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the other reason though is like just the access to all of this stuff. When we say we have these things in our backyard, like the Air Force Research Lab is 5 minutes up the road from here?
I think
Sandia is more or less
10 minutes.
literally in our backyard.
Yeah. The only reason Sandia is even 10 minutes is because you got to get through the gate, right?
For me, it's a lot longer. I get in the gate and it's a 15-minute drive to my site.
Oh, there you go. See, so a whole 15 minutes. But so what that means though is, so like one of the students here was president of AIAA, which is one of our student orgs, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, and he said he went to one of the free coffee events or one of the networking events that they have, and that's the kind of thing that you can only do when you have it that close to you. And as he put it, he went for the free coffee and left with a job. And so now they paid him $50,000 a year to finish up his master's, $100,000 once he finished that up, and now he's working on technology for Project Artemis, just like that.
Well, I've also the American Nuclear Society Trinity chapter. We get quite good talks from high-level people because we have Los Alamos and Sandia right here. So pretty much some of the world's smartest people just, hey, you want to give a talk on whatever you're doing for an evening, and they're pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And even just in personal experience, I do hot air ballooning as a hobby. So I've gone to a couple of banquets for those, and just like being around town, you run into I was offered a job at a banquet because they were like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I'm a nuclear engineer. And he's like, oh, I've been looking for one of those. Do you need a job? So
yeah, and so you probably
just being in town around everything really does make a difference, because you won't just randomly run into people.
Yeah.
Or
it's the equivalent of being in the splash zone, right? All of this, we always say that, any effect has like a ripple, right? Or in the ripple zone, right? All the ripples affect us. And so if you're close enough, you get the effects of that kind of stuff. I'm sure you probably know he's one of our other nuclear students, Phoenix Valdez. And he likes to say that you pretty much have to try not to get an opportunity here.
Yes. I will definitely second that. Especially I was maybe not the greatest student in the world, and I had opportunities fall into my lap anyway.
Yeah.
So
Agreed. I'm not. I won't. I will say I am not.
I was not top of my class.
I know.
But
Neither was
I graduated. So there's definitely no. This is not a school where. Unfortunate with that goal right there. This is definitely not a school where you have to be, number one in everything in order to get that internship.
Yep.
It'll definitely help.
Yeah. Well,
but
and the other thing too that we have, especially for nuclear, but this is true across the board, is I would argue we're probably more hands-on than pretty much any other program. And for nuclear, I know we're more hands-on than any other program.
We are definitely the most hands-on nuclear engineering department, possibly in the world.
Let's put it this way: who else has one? And so what we're referring to here, guys.
I think Texas A&M is trying, or maybe Georgia. There's one other. What we're talking about is the
AGN-201M.
Here on UNM campus, we have a nuclear reactor, an AGN-201, which is it's probably only like this big reactor. And in your senior year, you do a lab that you put on gloves and you grab the fuel and you just take it out. And then you do an approach to criticality where you put it back in and basically measure how critical the system is, which is how close it is to generating power. It's like 5 watts. So it's not
Thermal
much.
watts at that.
Thermal watts, yeah. So it's really not much. But because it's so low, you're able to do that experiment where you're able to grab the fuel, where it's safe for students to just be behind the control panel with someone behind them, but you're not going to explode anything because it's an air-cooled reactor, and it's a really unique experience that no one else is even able to emulate, just because of regulatory and safety restrictions.
And actually, talking about NRC, But talking about NRC, we do get students licensed to actually operate by the time they graduate to operate this nuclear reactor. And so, even again, talking about opportunities, tell me somebody who's not going to want to hire you when you're licensed on a nuclear reactor.
From what I've heard, that is one of the biggest things that you can pretty much get on your resume is that if you're a nuclear engineer, and you really can't do that anywhere else.
Nope. The closest program to having even similar to us of the ability to load and whatnot would be MIT, but you have to be licensed on I believe it's either a crane or a forklift. And seeing as how most undergraduates are not licensed on a forklift, most of them are not being able to do this kind of stuff. And so that's one of the reasons why you should really look at UNM is, again, it's just more hands-on every step of the way. And the reason for that is we keep talking about all these places that are around us, and when we ask them, what do you want when it comes to an engineering student, it's kind of funny. The answer they give us is kind of obvious, but they tell us, we want an engineering student.
Yeah.
And I was in a meeting with them one time, and I went, well, of course you want an engineering student. That's why we give you engineering students. They go, no, when we want an engineer, we want an engineer. If we want somebody who knows a lot about engineering, we'll hire a physicist. It's sort of the equivalent of someone who knows a lot about medicine, but has never actually practiced on a patient. They're not really a doctor, right? They're
And you definitely don't want that person operating on
There
it.
you go.
Nice. Good
Yeah,
score
exactly.
there.
Right? And so you can't become an engineer until you're practicing engineering, right? As much as law is a practice, as much as medicine is a practice, engineering is absolutely a practice as well. And so, you can't become an engineer if you're not practicing engineering, right? And so that's one of the key things that's important for I think students to really understand is we're not just giving you an engineering education, we're giving you an engineering practicum as well.
Yeah. Whoever just asked, we're bringing, I think it's just League of Legends and Smash to the NM State Invitational in a week and a half. I do not think we have a Rocket League team put together in time for that. But that being said, this will be our last round as we are approaching the end of time here. So if anyone has any more questions in chat here for me, Ford, or Toby, anything about UNM, anything about the School of Engineering, we can pretty much answer whatever. We even have, I now see 3 people behind production, all of them in various stages of, I think, a freshman, sophomore, and then a grad student. Senior? Yeah, and a senior now.
Senior physicist.
We pretty much have all of your bases covered if you have any questions.
Yes. And of course, if something else comes up later, like to point you guys up to the, it's the wrong direction.
Yeah.
There we go. QR code up. You guys know where the QR code is at. Up here. This is why Weathermen do the general thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, QR code up there. I don't know why I pointed at it again as if I didn't just fail at it moments before. But so yeah, check out the QR code. It'll have all of our contact information. You guys can email me, call me if you guys want to set up a tour of any of the facilities. Depending on how much time notice you get me, I might be even able to get you some of the cool stuff, like into the race car lab or even the nuclear reactor. So let me know what you want to see. I can get you guys some cool stuff, and we'll go from there. This one has turned into an absolute blowout.
8-3. I haven't been watching the past couple of minutes, but
if we were gonna bring a team for Rocket League, this is what it would look like. Our team just dominating.
Yeah, absolutely. You're on it, right?
I wish. I enjoy making everything you see on screen. A little too
Rocket
much.
League's one of those teams where it looks easy, is what I would say, but it is deceptively difficult.
Yeah, once you get into about plat, it becomes, can you touch the ceiling with your tires down to get your re-get your flip in order to have another boost? It becomes a weird skill ceiling.
All right, 9-3.
Can we go 10?
As much as I want this match to keep going, it'll be a long one if it keeps this pace up.
Yeah.
Just people saying we need to get a Rocket League team. I agree. If you're out there and you want to play Rocket League for us, contact us. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's 10.
That's 10. 10 seconds remaining.
Guys, there's pretty much only one way to create a Rocket League here. And it's for you guys to come here and help us do it, right?
Yeah, we've got the car already.
Yeah.
All we just need is the rocket
The
part.
ball.
Yeah.
Well, the rocket too.
Oh yeah, well we have the rocket team.
Do we have the rocket team?
Yeah, Level Launch team.
Level Launch.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh. Did he get a double right there? Not that it matters. Oh, are you gonna get it?
No.
I couldn't pinch it.
Unfortunate. I think 10-3 is going to be.
It's a good way to end tonight.
enough.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think that's going to. I don't see any more questions in the chat. So, any final remarks?
Again, just that cue. I don't know why I keep pointing at it as if I am going to learn how to do it at
QR
any
code's
point
up there.
soon.
It's over here.
Up here.
It's above you.
Yeah. It's
I'm going to do my best Dana White here. Or, yeah, Dana White, the girl on Wheel of Fortune.
yeah, a brand new car.
Yeah, right.
And
But so, yeah, so check us out. Again, any questions, want tours, want me to come and visit you in your class, right? I know students who have been like, hey, teacher, I don't want to learn math today. Let's have Toby come and talk to us. I'll go talk to your class. I don't care. So let me in. Talk to your teacher. I'll come visit you. Or if you guys want to do field trips, talk to your teacher, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
And
All
if
right.
you want to get in touch with any of us, our socials are above as UNM Esports everywhere.
Including on Discord now.
Yes, including on our Discord. If you want to be involved in any production stuff, like you've seen on stream today, feel free to reach out to me or Dieter, and we'll be happy to get more information to you.
Yep. So thank you all for participating, and have a good night, everybody.